Hello everyone, welcome to Everything Arsenal. Now, this is the latest transfer news. I mixed up my words there, but anyway, let's talk about the latest. Obviously, Eze, as always, the last couple of weeks we've been talking about Eze, and then what's the latest on Trossard and Martinelli? Now, a quiet day, obviously, because we've just played a game today against Tottenham. We lost the game. I did a watch along for that. I did a match reaction for that, so make sure to check that one out or check those out. But obviously, not too much news in terms of transfers today because we've been playing a game, but still some couple of updates on Eze, and then we have to talk about Martinelli and Trossard as well. After today's game, it's trending actually. Arsenal's left wing is trending. People are not so happy about Arsenal's left wing. Performances from Martinelli. Now Trossard is injured anyway as well. He went off injured. I don't know if it's how serious it is, but our left side is definitely looking very blunt. Now, personally, I don't think we're going to get a winger, especially not the ones that we've been linked to, the ones for 80 million, 90 million. I don't think those ones are going to happen. I've always been happy as well if we get Eze. Can even get like a 20, 30 million winger, just something different. Your wing actually doesn't have to be 90 million. You want that kind of quality. But if you have Eze, then you have Gyokeres there, you wouldn't really mind having, someone like an Adingra went to Sunderland for very cheap, like 25 million or something. Like someone like an Adingra at Arsenal would be great. Someone who can just take on players, someone like an Elanga, someone who can run past players and create something. That is what I feel like we are missing. The left side is very blunt for us as well. And because we don't have an attacking midfielder playing on that wing, we're asking Rice to do defensive work and attacking work as well. Asking Lewis Kelly to go into midfield as well. We're basically lacking a lot on that left wing. And the energy is very low. And the quality is very low as well. So we definitely need to improve on that spot. So let's start with Eze first. Is this the guy that is going to come and help us on that wing? So this is the latest on Eberechi Eze, according to Sammy Mockbell. Arsenal have genuine interest in Eberechi Eze, but have so far shown no inclination of triggering his 68 million release clause. Well-placed sources are also indicating that Arsenal would prefer to sell a forward before making any formal move for Eze. There is also a feeling at Arsenal that Eze's best position is at number 10, an area that Martin Odegaard and Ethan Nwaneri operate in. Arsenal may view Eze as a multifunctional attacker rather than just a 10. Arsenal are understood to value Eze lower than the clause and want to negotiate a deal beneath the agreement. It is understood Eze is very open to joining Arsenal. However, that is not to say he is desperate to leave Crystal Palace. As things stand, Palace chairman Steve Parish has shown no indication he would be open to negotiating a lower price. Though there is a thought that rival clubs' stance may soften later in the window. So that's where we stand with Eze, as Sammy Mockbell has reported today. Personally, I think we're going to get Eze. We're going to push for Eze, but I don't think we're going to get a winger. So that position is going to... Martinelli and Trossard, there's still a chance they might both be here. So I don't think Martinelli will be sold. We'll talk about Martinelli, but I don't think he will be sold. I've already seen your comment in the chat. Cookie says this: I love Martinelli, but I'm starting to think it's time to say goodbye. If a big offer comes in, we'll probably still keep him as an option. Hope he can find his old form, but it's not looking good. So in terms of, time to say, very good point, time to say goodbye if a big offer comes in. If a big offer comes in. Now, is the big offer going to come in for Martinelli? I don't think so. Our best chance was Al Nassr and Saudi Arabia. I don't think there's any other team that is going to come and pay 60, 70 million for him. So at the moment, Martinelli is going to be an Arsenal player. So either way, we are going to need Martinelli and Havertz and those players who are going to be here to improve because they're going to be here next season. Now, I think we're going to try and push for Eze, but I don't think Martinelli will go, and I think Madueke will be used on that side. So our biggest hopes at the moment are, one, Eze. We can sign Eze, and Eze can become a very good option on that left wing. That is our first hope, Sign Eze and use Eze on the left wing, using him as a number 8, and help him improve that position for us, because that left side is a bit blunt for us at the moment. Remember, 3 seasons ago, the left side was the best side for us. When we had Xhaka, Zinchenko, and Martinelli, that was our best side on that left side, Zinchenko was killing it that season. Martinelli was killing it that season, and Xhaka was really solid in that midfield. Nowadays, though, we have to use the right side for everything very much. So it's Saka, it's Timber behind him, it's Odegaard on that side who's operating everything, and Tim and Ben White as well overlapping, and Ben White getting in the good crosses at the moment. But the Martinelli that we had that season is very different from the Martinelli we have right now. It's very, very, very different. It's not the same Martinelli that we are used to from 2020 to 2023. His performances have dropped off the last 3 seasons for sure. So what do you do now? So we have to find something to improve the left side. Our first hope is getting Eze. Number 2, if Madueke is going to play on the left side in a few games or more games, I don't know how it's going to be used. I'm hoping Madueke turns out to be good for us, because we really need Madueke to be great. At the moment, there's still a lot of forward players that we have that are not playing well. It would be such a nightmare if Madueke came into Arsenal and started playing like what Martinelli is doing right now and what Trossard is doing right now. It would be a nightmare as well. So I'm hoping Madueke can come and surprise everyone, and we're like, oh, but Madueke actually deserves to start ahead of Martinelli. He actually deserves to start ahead of Trossard. He's actually being a very good backup for Saka. We can actually afford to rest Saka and play Madueke on that right side. That is what I'm hoping for. That is our second hope. Number 1, Eze to be signed and be used on that left side. And number 2, hopefully we can bring in this guy can join up with the team next week, and he can hit the ground running and surprise us all, and he can become an option ahead of the other players. That is the second hope for us. The third hope is, signing both Eze and a left winger. Now, that one I don't think is going to happen. I don't think you're going to sign a left winger. So we are hoping that we can get this Eze deal done, and we can be using him on that left side, and also as a number 8. Now, on the right wing, we have a lot of players that a lot of combination. Everything goes through the right side. Every single pass goes to Odegaard. Every single pass goes to Saka. Everything goes through Ben White and Timber. We use that right side a lot, and Saliba is also on that side. We basically use that side a lot. So we need something else on the left side. Now, the hope would be maybe if Eze joins Arsenal, maybe he also helps Martinelli improve on that side. I don't know. Maybe the combination becomes better. Maybe now Martinelli has the way Saka has Odegaard. Maybe Martinelli will have an Eze on that side, and maybe he can stop being a touchline winger. He can make runs in behind and use his space, because you have to use what you're good at. Martinelli is not great at dribbling, and we're asking him to dribble all of the times because we're playing him as a touchline winger. He's not good at that. Martinelli is great in terms of his main attribute is space and running in behind. So if we can have maybe Eze there, the hope would be, maybe Eze improves Martinelli, makes runs in behind, and maybe the Gyokeres in the box as well at the same time. Maybe those crosses from Martinelli end up being assists. Maybe he ends up getting an assist every single game, and all of a sudden we're looking at Martinelli as an option, like, okay, he's working very well with Eze, he's working very well with the Gyokeres, all of a sudden he becomes a better player. That is the hope, because as of now, it's not working out. Rice is obviously getting into the box. He's not really on the left side, helping Martinelli out, and sometimes he's coming back to defend. And anyway, I prefer Rice, I don't mind Rice as an 8 or as a 6, but I don't want him to be on the left wing trying to cross the ball, trying to dribble past players. No, I want him to, get into the box late, wait for, rebounds outside the box, because you have a powerful shot. You're also very energetic. You also have, a big run on you, can come back and help us defend. I need to see a lot of different things next season for sure. Even if we sign Eze, we need to have different tactics, because right now still we're using the right side so much. Saka is being exhausted so much. Today against Tottenham, Saka was being marked by like 4 players, and he can't do anything after that. 4 or 5 players marking him every single situation, and we are stranded every single time. He can't do anything. On the left side, we cannot use the left side because it's not good enough at the moment. So Trossard was looking more likely to be starting game week 1 ahead of Martinelli if the Premier League season was starting tomorrow, but Trossard himself went off injured. So that makes it even more desperate for the left side. But I'm hoping, listen, if Eze comes in, let's hope that he makes Martinelli better, because Martinelli is still going to be here next season. We definitely cannot have another season where, so 2 seasons ago when we finished 2 points behind Man City, Havertz was good, Trossard was good, Saka was good, Odegaard was good. Who am I forgetting? Basically, our forward line people were scoring every single day, We were playing Chelsea 5-0, Havertz scores twice, Ben White scores twice. We play Sheffield 6-0, Havertz scores, Odegaard scores, Rice scores, Trossard scores. The next week we play Burnley 5-0. We score a corner kick. Trossard scores again. Havertz scores again. Odegaard scores again. Saka scores again. The next week we play Nottingham. Another win again. Saka scores. Like the 2023 season was very good. Everyone was scoring. Everyone was contributing. Everyone was good. But there's two players who didn't contribute that season. Martinelli, I think, only had 5 goals that season, and Jesus also had like 5 or 6 goals that season, and he was injured a lot. So that's that 23-24, not 2023, 23-24. So 2 seasons ago, when he finished 2 points ahead of two points behind of Man City. So all of those players were playing well, but Martinelli and Jesus did not play well that season. If Martinelli and Jesus played well that season, we would have won the league because everyone else was playing well. Havertz, Trossard, Saka, everyone else was playing well. We just needed a couple of more goals from Martinelli, a couple of more goals from Jesus, and we win the league that season. We didn't. Last season, unfortunately, most of the players did not have a great season, and we fell off behind completely. You know, Odegaard did not have a great season. Havertz did not have a great season. He was injured at the back end of it. Saka was injured. He had started the season very well, but he got injured. Trossard wasn't as good as he was the previous season. And Martinelli had another, 23-24 season. So you're not really going to work out. So this season, if you're going to go and you win the Carabao Cup and win the FA Cup or any of those and, go further in the Champions League and, be in the title race in the final day of the season again in May, yes, we are hoping Gyokeres can, get more minutes. First of all, he only played 10 minutes today. I think he only touched the ball twice, so giving him 10 minutes. We don't really expect anything in 10 minutes. So you're hoping Gyokeres is going to do his job as a striker, obviously. We're hoping Saka will recover and he can do his job on the right side. And we're hoping Odegaard is going to have a better season and Noni is going to chip in on all of those guys. But, Gyokeres is not going to play 90 minutes every single game. And Trossard, even if he's the one who's starting, is not going to play 90 minutes every single game. Odegaard is not going to play 90 minutes every single game. Saliba is not going to play 90 minutes every single game. So we still need the bench players to improve. So we cannot just say Havertz is not playing well. Doesn't matter. We now have Gyokeres. Havertz is on the bench. Havertz is still going to come on. He's still going to start a few games because Gyokeres is not going to play 90 minutes every single game. So we need Havertz to start performing and doing other things. Today he was holding up the ball well. He was winning the headers well. He was knocking the ball forward to Rice and to Martinelli. But in terms of positioning and, going past players, that is not really Havertz's game. And you could just tell how comfortable the defenders were, the Tottenham defenders were. We definitely need more from Martinelli because he's going to be here next season. He's not going to sit on the bench all the way to May of next year without playing. He's still going to play. So even if Martinelli and Havertz only play the Carabao Cup games and they don't play well, that is it. You're out of another trophy. So you need them to play well. You need those players to keep on improving. We can't just say, now we have Gyokeres and we're going to have Eze. That is okay. Havertz and Martinelli on the bench. They're going to play. So we need them to improve. We definitely need them to improve. And at the moment, Martinelli is the one that is disappointing people the most. Someone in the comments in the match reaction said Nelson was good today. Now, Nelson only played 5 minutes. I know why Nelson looked very good because Martinelli was not that good in the first 70 minutes. So when you bring Nelson and he takes on a player once, he's already better than what Martinelli was. That is why someone commented and said Nelson was very good today. Nelson was only on for 5 minutes, but he was already very better than way better than what Martinelli was for the 70 minutes. And the reason why we feel that Nelson was absolutely incredible, give him a new contract, is because of how poor Martinelli was before that. So we feel like Nelson is like Rodrygo when he came on, like this is crazy. That is the main reason. But Nelson actually did better than what Martinelli did for 70 minutes. Even Trossard was on for 10 minutes and he did better than Martinelli. So I'm an advocate for keeping Martinelli. I've always told you guys I want to keep Martinelli on the bench next, and I don't want to sell him anything like that unless we're getting 70 million plus. But he has to improve, obviously. Now, he cannot play like the way he plays right now. He's a bit scared to take on players, same idea every single time, nothing really for the fullback to think about. Like, for example, if you compare the guy who's in the same wing with him in that first half in Kudus was giving Lewis Skelly a lot to do in that first half, and it's very different from Martinelli. So, we need him to improve. Now, will Eze come and play that position? Let's see. So, Sami Mokbel, that is what the update is giving us today. We have genuine interest. We're not going to pay the 68 million. Negotiations will go on. There's a feeling that Eze's best position is at 10. Now, that is also an option. Again, I want us to play differently. It doesn't have to be a 4-3-3 with Rice going forward and Odegaard going forward. It doesn't have to be that. It can be Rice and Zubimendi together in 2 midfielders together, and then you allow Odegaard to play as a 10. The old number 10, the Ozil number 10, the backup number 10, the one you can move to the left, move to the right. You have that whole position to roam. And you have 2 players behind you. So Odegaard, you can do whatever you want. You don't have to come back to defend anything. You have Rice and Zubimendi behind you. That can be one tactic. It can also be Nørgaard or Rice. It can be Nørgaard and Zubimendi, however you're going to look at it. it can be Eze in the 10. It can be both Eze and Odegaard together. And then you still have Rice and Zubimendi behind them. So you ask Eze and Odegaard, don't really come back too much to defend. You guys just stay up front and create chances for who. You just stay forward and create chances. That is your whole job in this game, depending on how games are going to go. Because today as well, Tottenham are defending well. And, Arsenal is still not going to concede 2+ goals in a game. We are going to, we're still going to keep many clean sheets, but the moment you concede a goal, if it can't score, it becomes a problem, because we're still very good defensively. We still have a good shape and all of that. But the reason why we drew all of those games last season is because Arsenal have a very good defense and he had a very poor attack. So it ended up being 0-0, 1-1, 1-1, 0-0, 1-1, because we'd score one set piece and then the other team would score from our mistake, and then boom, it's a draw. So we need to make sure 3 seasons ago in the 2023 season, when you competed with Man City for the first time, we're scoring 3-4 goals every single week. Even 23-24 season, we are scoring 4-5 goals. Man, there's 2 months where we scored 4 goals against Newcastle, 5 against Burnley, 6 against Sheffield, 6 against West Ham, 5 against Chelsea. In the span of like a month, we scored all of those goals. Now, Arsenal last season, we were not good last season. We were very poor last season. But last season, despite us being so poor last season, we were still able to score 5 goals against Sporting, 7 goals against PSV, 5 goals against Man City. There were goals here and there. So I'm imagining if Gyokeres is there and is being used correctly, and Odegaard can improve his game just a little, because that was even Odegaard playing poorly last season and we're still able to score 7 goals. I'm just imagining if our defense just stays the same and we can find a way to get Gyokeres, getting many chances in the game, and you can use Saka, 60, 70 minutes, and Madueke can come off the bench and do the job well for us as well, and we can find a way to break down those low blocks with Eze and Odegaard, hopefully. And whenever Eze is playing on the left side, Martinelli is going to be here, so whenever he's playing, can he know how to use his strengths in terms of pace and all of that? If we're able to score all of those goals last season when we are very poor and we're still scoring 7, 6, 5 goals in games, we can be able to do that in the Premier League right now. With the Gyokeres and players like that, we should be able to do that. So even if it means changing the tactics sometimes to try and break down these teams, because for sure you cannot play again like we played today, like against Everton at home and Fulham at home, it's going to be 0-0. If we play the way we played today against Tottenham next season against Everton, it's 0-0. Against Burnley, it's 0-0, and we just keep on drawing games. So we have to find a way to create many chances, because again, we cannot have 21 shots and have 2 shots on target. That is not good enough at all. So hopefully Eze can come into the team and do that job for us, but we'll have to pay the money. So he says there that Eze can play as a 10. Yeah, he can play as a 10, he can play as an 8, he can play as a left winger. However we're going to use him, absolutely fine. But he also provides competition for Odegaard, which is great. Arsenal understood to value Eze lower than the clause and want to negotiate a deal beneath the agreement. So that is Barter's job. I trust what Barter is going to do with that situation. Let's see how he does it. If you're able to get Eze, then that will be a big coup. Now, yesterday, or today actually, Football Transfers have said that Arsenal still well placed to sign Eberechi Eze. Here's what's holding up the deal. Let me check. Let me check their link and see what they're saying. Obviously, they want us to click on the link. That is the internet for you. So they say Mikel Arteta has his sights on a new winger for the Gunners this summer who can challenge Gabriel Martinelli to start on the left and act as backup to Bukayo Saka on the right. Although there have been rumors that the Emirates side might look at Real Madrid star Rodrygo, Football Transfers previously reported that Sporting Director Andrea Barta is going all in on Eze. So the fact that you have Andrea Barta, I'm still confident we can get Eze. If it was different, then we wouldn't know. But because you have Andrea Barta, I still feel like we're going to get Eze. The main stumbling block in the negotiations as things stand are not being caused by the Gunners, but instead Palace finding a replacement. I don't know. I mean, that's what the Football Transfers are saying. An agreement has been reached over the first down payment that Arsenal will pay £30 million. The North London side are expected to pay a total of £68 million for the England international winger, matching the release clause in his Crystal Palace deal. The Eagles, meanwhile, are not expected to make things difficult in this deal, but do want to find a high-quality alternative before agreeing to move. Although Arsenal appear to be willing to match Eze's release clause, Palace have not been placed under an obligation to sell because their London rivals want to structure the deal in a different way. Football Transfers have been told by sources that Arteta has seen the left-sided position since the beginning of the window. I mean, that's what they're saying. They're saying Atsa is seeing the left-sided position as a position that we need to improve. I mean, the fans are definitely seeing that. With Viktor Gyokeres now safely at the Emirates club, the Spanish boss is prioritizing this deal. Given that Arsenal have been seeking a left winger for weeks, a transfer is already budgeted for. This means that claims the Gunners need to sell before they can buy off the mark. Atsa is hoping that Eze can add a goal threat from the left of his side. He delivered 25 goal contributions in 43 appearances for Crystal Palace last time, and a repeat of this at the Emirates would doubtless push Gunners closer to the Premier League title. Eze would change our life. You know, the way we've been saying Gyokeres has changed our lives, we still need someone else in that team, because there still could be situations like today where 3 players mark Gyokeres, and then, you know, who's creating the chances and all that. You need players to create chances for Gyokeres, because if he creates chances for him, he's getting 30 goals. If Odegaard creates chances for him and Saka is creating chances for Gyokeres, he's going to score. The post is still the same size as it is in Portugal. He's still going to score the goals if he gets those chances. But if you don't give him the chances, he doesn't score. Like today, he was only on for 10 minutes. He only got 1 touch of the ball. So I don't expect him to, you know, score with 1 touch of the ball. So we're hoping we can create chances for him. And that left side is crying for something. We definitely need something on that left side. Some pace, some trickery, some end product. We need a lot on that left wing. There's a lot that is lacking, you know. The end product is also really lacking, because Martinelli has like 5-6 goals or something 2 seasons ago. That is very low. So in terms of end product, Trossard is better than Martinelli. So that's why in terms of like scoring and assisting, you'd prefer Trossard to be on the pitch. So yeah, people are worried about Martinelli. We still need him to improve, though, because he's still going to play games next season. So let's hope he does improve, because at the moment, it's not looking good. Let's hope Eze can help unlock Martinelli. Let's hope Gyokeres can help unlock Martinelli. And as well as Madueke as well, wherever he's going to play this in the left wing or right wing, we need him to come and be good for us, because right now it's not looking too promising once again in terms of the attack. Despite signing Gyokeres, we still need players to create chances for Gyokeres and create chances for those guys. So, you know, like today, so Gyokeres and Merino in the box at the same time. I was like, someone gets a cross into that box. Those are little finishers in the box. Merino and Gyokeres in the same box, but there's no one really to create. At that point, Saka had been subbed off, and yeah, you trusted that it was off, and you know there was really nothing on to create a chance at that point. So we were really struggling. So let's hope that we can get Eze. So I believe that Andrea Bat is going to be able to get Eze. How quickly are we going to get him? We have 17 days until we play Man United. Today was very blunt. Today the attack was very blunt, and the game was very off. But again, I do expect Rice to be better. I expect Lewis Kelly to be better, but I don't know if I'm expecting the forward line to be better. That's the problem. So let's see how it goes. That's the latest on Eze. I think yesterday Fabrizio said Eze is the top target now for the remainder of the window. Arsenal have spoken to Eze's camp several times. Eze is very tempted by this opportunity. Arsenal will try. Let's see how the convo goes in August. He's considered the perfect player to add to their squad. Yes, please. Perfect. I mean, I would have loved to get Eze and Rodrygo, both of them. Yeah, but I think that is possible for many reasons. I don't think Rodrygo really wants to join Arsenal anyway. I don't think Real Madrid really want to sell him. I don't think Rodrygo really wants to leave Real Madrid. And yeah, if he's wanted by a PSG or something, he might prefer to go to there. But again, it doesn't really have to be Rodrygo. You can, even if it means you get a £20 million winger like an Adingra who went to Sunderland, someone like that who can just run past players and give you a bit of pace and trickery on the wing. You know, Adama Traore is very bad in terms of end product. Adama Traore doesn't score goals or assists, no. But you see the way he's very direct, he can just get the ball and run past 6 players. I need a player who can do that. You know, Theo Walcott used to do that for us. You know, when you used to bring Theo Walcott off the bench and you just know he's going to run past 4 or 5 players, sometimes it can be as easy as that. You just need someone who can go past players and cross the ball to Gyokeres and you've scored a goal. Just that. So, you know, players like Adingra, players like, you know, I would love a player like Mitoma. I would absolutely love Mitoma at Arsenal, but it's not going to happen. It's too expensive anyway, but I would love a player like Mitoma. It's possible. You know, players like that, players who are tricky and quick. Elanga, Hudson-Odoi is a good one as well. I wouldn't mind Hudson-Odoi at Arsenal because he's very direct. And right now, if I was to ask you, who do you prefer? Like, who's been better over the last couple of years in terms of, because if you're looking for a winger who's going to take on players and cross the ball and energetic and all that, the truth is Hudson-Odoi and Elanga have been better than Martinelli in terms of doing that. They've been better than Trossard in terms of doing that. You can even argue Anthony Gordon has been better in terms of, taking on players and end product of the last 2 years as well. So that is just, I saw someone saying Garnacho as well, but I'm not sure about Garnacho. I wouldn't be happy with Garnacho in and Martinelli out. That wouldn't be great. But, I'm looking at the links to players like Gordon. I'm like, I've seen a lot of you have been saying Gordon no, but are you sure no? Because right now left wing is very poor. Like I feel like Gordon is like a Ronaldinho right now. If Gordon joins us, he would feel like a Ronaldinho to us. Because it's been very poor on that left side. Cookie said I love Martinelli, but I'm starting to think it's time to say goodbye if a big offer comes in. Only if a big offer comes in. So I don't think a big offer will come in. So that means he ends up staying. I would probably still keep him as an option and hope he can find his old form, but it's not looking good. I saw someone writing on Twitter something very sad. We need to accept that the 2022-2023 Martinelli was the best that we got. He's never going to get to those levels. I was like, oh no. He's still very young, so I don't know. He might still get to those levels in his career, whether it's going to be at Arsenal or somewhere else, I don't know. But we weren't using Martinelli that season too much as a touchline winger. Martinelli was running in behind, like I remember his early goal against Liverpool, pass from Odegaard, Martinelli in behind, goal. I think Jacques actually really complimented Martinelli really well. I think Martinelli really misses Jacques on that left side. Let's see. But obviously, in terms of finishing and all that, you need him to improve. Arsenal is still short in midfield and left winger. Eze and a left winger could be the best, says Emmanuel. Arsenal are now missing part in the midfield currently. I think it's a big challenge to the Gunners this season. Without again, I don't watch today's game and think that is our problem. Nørgaard was one of our best players in midfield because it's not like we were conceding a lot of chances because our midfield is open or anything. That is not the case. Our problem is the forward line, man. It doesn't matter if he's there or Jorginho is there. It doesn't matter. We still don't score a goal today. Partey playing today would not have meant we score a goal. That wouldn't have meant that. We are talking about forward players. So Nørgaard and Zubimendi are one of our best players today. So that was not our problem. We weren't getting exposed or anything like that. Today we were just warming up. Us is the biggest team in the world. I hope so. Hopefully we can get Eze and we can make that the truth. Second half, we did better. We didn't really create anything, though, Gilbert. It was very blunt still, We could play another 90 minutes and we wouldn't score. That's how it felt. We weren't really creating anything. We didn't really test their goalkeeper at all. We had like 2 shots on target the whole game. Martin says, please sell Martinelli and Havertz. Gilbert says, I wish the depth of the squad we have now can be maintained. We'll challenge the title. We still need to improve the first team. The first team still needs to be improved. I don't mind the backups. I don't mind Kepa as a backup. I don't mind Nørgaard as a backup. I don't mind Mosquera as a backup. All of those players are really good. But we need someone who's going to be starting games for us, especially that left wing. Christopher says, Xavi Simons would make a good left winger. Right now, to be honest, Christopher, it seems like anyone who comes to us on that left wing would be great. That is how it's feeling, unfortunately. And that's not good for Martinelli because there was a lot of big Martinelli fans. And I am seeing those big Martinelli fans right now saying, I'm not sure, man. It's definitely concerning. He definitely cannot have a third bad season. If he has a third bad season, then that is it, unfortunately. Doubling up on Daumann today, and for me, he was our best player. And he was only on for 20 minutes. So that shows you, even Reece Nelson was better in those 5 minutes. Has to get minutes this season. We weren't at our best day, but we should not condemn our players, says Olu. So you have to talk about it, though. You can't just ignore it and say it's fine because you're competing against Liverpool and Man City. You could get to September and you're 9 points behind and then it's over. So you have to, pre-season is for sorting out, the problems. I don't mind players playing. I don't mind Gyokeres coming on for 10 minutes. That was the plan. They're not going to bring on Gyokeres and Mosquera because we are losing. The plan was to play the player 70 minutes and then they said Gyokeres was not ready. He could only play 20 minutes. That is absolutely fine. So let's hope as we get closer to the season, he's ready because he's definitely going to start. Trossard and Gyokeres sitting on that bench, they were not thinking, oh my goodness, Martinelli and Havertz are playing really well. We're not going to play. Gyokeres was thinking, this is very easy. I'm going to just go and start in this team right away. They can do better. Yeah, they should do better. It has to be. Yeah, they have to do better for us to win something. Cookie says, do you know Martinelli nowadays can't even take on one player like this Tottenham squad better than ours, no doubt. Yeah, that's a concern that he can't like go past a player. That is definitely a concern. I really want Eze. Same here. Saka is a problem which no one can see. He can lose the ball 10 times without passing. Again, Jackson, that is not Arsenal's problem. Saka is not Arsenal's problem. It can be a problem when he's marked by 4 players. What do we expect him to do? Saka gets the ball and he's surrounded by 3 players. He's going to lose the ball numerous times because we are passing the ball to him throughout the game and he's being marked by 4 or 5 players. But again, Saka is not our biggest problem right now. So what do we suggest? You replace Saka and you leave Martinelli in the team? So Saka is not our biggest problem. Saka, we need to find a way to, give him more space as well, because it's not easy for him to get the ball and he's being marked by 4 players. It's not also fair on him. He's obviously going to lose the ball numerous times, Odegaard trying the pass in behind is going to lose the ball many times as well. But the problem is when Martinelli is one-on-one, he still loses the ball. Saka can still get past the 4 players, so that is a problem. We lose one match, we criticize Arsenal players, we are our own problem. People are not going to be happy. So for me, I'm not criticizing. I just said we need a new left winger for sure, because the levels, and it's not one game. For Martinelli, this is the 3rd season. He wasn't good the last 2 seasons, so we have to be... Actually, Telima, if you watch this channel, I'm one of the most patient people because I've said I want Havertz and Martinelli to stay. There's a lot of people who do not want Havertz and Martinelli to stay. I'm probably amongst the very few, so I'm usually not that critical on players. But so if you hear me saying I don't want Martinelli to stay, I've been very, very, very patient. If I not stay, start. I've been very patient. I don't have a problem with people criticizing players. Abuse is different from criticizing. So I don't think you can watch today's game and be happy. I didn't think Rice was good today. I can say today's free kicks from Rice were terrible. I need them to be better next time. We need Leao and Eze, says Prince. To make our forward cool, we should go for Eze and Leao. We need Eze, Martinelli. No, says Martin. Xavi Simons better than Leao. I would take any of them, to be honest, Christopher, right now. I'll take any of them. I need some energy and people who can take on players on the left wing. So let's see how it goes. But our next games are next week. The transfer news obviously has not too much today because we had a game. It was really only the Eze news. But make sure to check the match reaction I already did and the watch along as well. And if there's any news later on, we'll make sure to talk about it. But as of now, I appreciate you guys watching and I'll catch up with you on the next one.